had your attention. You're all dismissed.
Bankrupt.
Better luck with your next job.
I am not a stranger to the dark.
This is not the life I promised you. Not even close.
'Cause we don't want your broken parts.
Girls, I think I've had an idea.
Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum.
P.T. Barnum, at your service.
To be seen.
I'm putting together a show,
No apologies.
and I need a star. Every one of us is special. And nobody is like anyone else. That's the point of my show. Ready? Showtime. No one ever made a difference by being like everyone else.
I can't just run off and join the circus.
Why not? I mean, you clearly have a flair for show business.
For show business?
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of it.
Because I just invented it.
Woo! The Greatest Showman. I chose The Greatest Showman because it's a musical, and I love musicals. And Hugh Jackman's not too bad to look at either. But let me clarify. Hugh Jackman, Steve Bland. I'm just telling you. Wolverine's got nothing on you, baby. I'm just telling you. I have enjoyed this series, and listen, hang tight. We're going to get out, and you're going to be happy with me in just a minute, so just hold tight. This series, the movie series, has just been so enjoyable. You know, Steve did Hacksaw Ridge, Jim did The Meg and Jaws, Elliot did Braveheart, and I'm going to do The Greatest Showman. The Greatest Showman, I was introduced to a new way of life. I don't know where Steve was, but Elliot came and said, I'm going to take you out. I said, okay. And he said, I'm going to take you to a movie. I'm going to take you to The Greatest Showman. So, you know, I know how movies go, and I'm just impressed that it's a reclining seat now these days. That's beautiful. Although it kind of works against me at my age because I fall asleep, so I can't go all the way back. I got to stay up. Anyway, Elliot introduced me to this new wonderful invention. It's called the dine-in theater. Have you ever experienced, listen, I mean, you can tell that that is of importance to me. Anywhere that I can go and watch a movie in a recliner and have somebody bring me food and fill me up on Diet Coke, I mean, that's just heaven. It's heaven. So he took me to the AMC theater, to the dine-in, and let me tell you, the food is good. I had sushi, and I did not get food poisoning. It was really, really good. It's a great place. So I loved all of the 3 previous movies, but they lacked something. They lacked snacks. So today I'm going to provide for you snacks while we watch a movie. I have popcorn, I have Laffy Taffy, I have Skittles, I have chocolate. Just go ahead, get you some snacks. Come on, come on. Joey, hand them out nice. Come on, I got snacks. comes together because it's 11:50. So now you can hang on because I have provided you a snack to get you through because you're thinking noon is lunch and you got to get out of here. Not so. Just open up a piece of candy. I love it. Steve's on the ground picking up every last piece of Laffy Taffy he can find. So, The Greatest Showman. I am not going to speak today about P.T. Barnum because if you have done any investigation of the man, first of all, he's not as handsome as Hugh Jackman. And second of all, he was not a decent human being. So I just want to clarify that so nobody sends me an email saying, how could I promote such a horrible person? I am not promoting P.T. Barnum. I will stand firm and say that this man was not a decent man, and he did some very horrible things. But The Greatest Showman has several themes in this movie. It's an inspirational movie. An inspirational movie. I mean, this is me. When I first heard that song, I was overcome because how empowering is that to be able to stand and say, no matter what, this is me. Look out, world, here I come. I mean, that is just an anthem. What a great theme. But the theme that I want to focus on this morning is the theme of dreams.
How'd you get out?
The window. Father's sending me to finishing school. I don't know what my future will be.
I do.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
A million dreams for the world we're going to make. No matter what P.T. Barnum did or the life that he led, he had a dream, and he developed that dream, and things were done because of that dream. He dreamt big. When my kids were infants, each child. I would rock them to sleep every night. Cry all the time when I say that because I don't have any babies anymore. That's why I'm hoping after this marriage I'm going to have a grandchild very quickly. I have a void in my life. Just throwing that out there. So if you want to pray, everybody pray that we have a grandchild very quickly. No pressure. But I would rock each one to sleep. And I would sing to them a song that simply said, I'm going to dream big dreams, accomplish great things, climb many mountains for God, because I can do anything through Christ who gives strength to me. I'm going to dream big dreams for God. And that was not just a song, it was a prayer that I prayed over all three of my kids, and it has been a touchstone for me throughout my whole life and concerning them, that they dream big dreams. And if you have dedicated a child here at La Palma Christian Center, you will know that in your Bible that the child receives, they will have a note from me that says, dream big dreams for God, because only God-given dreams are the dreams that are of value. You know, an interesting fact about dreams is that the average person dreams over 1,460 dreams a year. Most dreams only last 5 to 20 minutes. And scientists say that the higher your EQ, the more you dream. That's why Elliot doesn't have very many dreams at night. I'm just joking. I threw Bankhead under the bus first service. I had to do something else. This is interesting, though. The colder the room you sleep in, the better chances are that you will have a bad dream. That's interesting. I love a cold room. I guess I'll have a lot of bad dreams. Everybody dreams. All of us dream, and all of us should have a dream. You know, there's a line in the teaser clip that says, no one changed the world by being like everybody else. What an important statement, because the capacity to dream always was the great secret of those people who changed the world. Dreams feed the soul, they give wings to intelligence, and make a great difference in the world. Now, these God-given dreams aren't just your bucket list dreams. You know, I dream of jumping out of an airplane. I dream of going on vacation. Those are bucket lists. Those are, mark them off your list. So the question this morning is not, can you dream? Because we know that we can. The question is, do you have the courage to act upon the dreams that are given to you? You know, God called on common people, both men and women, and he gave them dreams, and they changed the world. Today, very quickly, I want to look at the life of Joseph, and we will learn 3 things from the life of Joseph. Genesis chapter 37, starting with verse 1, says, this is the story of Jacob. The story continues with Joseph, his son, 17 years old at the time, helping out his brothers and herding the flocks. These were his half-brothers, actually, the sons of his father's wives, Bilhah and Zilpah. And Joseph brought his father bad reports on them. I have to admit right now that Joseph has never been a favorite character of mine. His story hasn't been one that I particularly liked because he was a spoiled, rotten little brat. And his pride drove me crazy. The fact that he had to go to his father and tell on his own, it just bothers me. Israel, though, his father, loved Joseph more than any of his other sons because he was the child of his old age. And he made him an elaborately embroidered coat. When his brothers realized that their father loved him more than them, they grew to hate him, and they wouldn't even speak to him. Joseph had a dream. When he told it to his brothers, they hated him even more. He said, listen to this dream I had. We were all out in the field gathering bundles of wheat, and all of a sudden my bundle stood up straight, and your bundle circled around it and bowed down to mine. Makes you just want to smack him, doesn't it? It just causes something in me to rise up because, you know, we all know those people who think they're better and they've got better things, and maybe it's going back to childhood and bullies, but that irritates me. They all bowed down to mine. His brothers said, so you're going to rule us? You're going to boss us around? ever because of his dreams and the way he talked. He had another dream, and he told this one also to his brothers. I dreamed another dream. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed down to me. When he told it to his father and brothers, his father reprimanded him. What's with all this dreaming? Am I and your mother and your brothers all supposed to bow down to you? And now his brothers were really jealous, but his father brooded over the whole business. You know, Joseph was the favorite child because Joseph was born to the favorite wife. So he was set apart from the very beginning, and his family hated him. Joseph was Abraham's great-grandson and the son of Rachel and the favorite. And like I said, he was 17 years old when he received this dream. And he was very immature in the way that he talked about the dream and even probably processed the dream that God gave him. So the first thing we need to see from the dreams of Joseph and God-given dreams is that, first of all, a dream, a God-given dream, will give you direction. Joseph's dream, the dream about the bales, the dream about the sun, moon, and stars, this was a dream actually showing Joseph of a hardship and of his future. And he didn't interpret it that way. He thought of it as a sign of his leadership. This dream and these two dreams actually set the course for his life. The thing that we need to realize about a God-given dream and God-given dreams giving us direction is the direction that it gives us. A God-given dream is not about you. A God-given dream is not about me. A God-given dream is about God. And it is about fulfilling the Great Commission. Go into all the world and preach the gospel. Love God first and then love others. When we have a dream and God gives us a dream and that sets the direction, many times we feel like it's about us and about what we're going to accomplish and how he is going to use us. And we get so focused on us that we actually lose the direction of the God-given dream. Remember, God uses common men and women. He instills dreams into common men and women. I'm reminded of one woman in this house. There are many dreamers in this house, but this woman stands out to me because she is a dreamer, and she's come to Steve and I several times with dreams. And that's Linda Shipman. Years ago, Linda Shipman came to Steve and I and said, hey, I've got a dream about a ministry to the military. I don't know really what it looks like, but I know there's a need, and I know God has placed this in my heart. So this is what I feel like we should do. And she did it. And her focus was not on her. Her focus was on the men and the women in the military and how we could minister to them, how we could take care of them, to the veterans. That dream set a direction for her life for a moment, and then it stopped. She fulfilled. But guess what? God gave her another dream. This dream was for the mature members of the congregation, those who are 50 and above. And I'm not going to say old because, listen, honey, I'm going to be 53, so I'm in that ministry. And I come and I am glad and I know the hymns and I'm a part of that history and I'm thankful. But she came and she said, God has placed a dream, a vision, and this is what it looks like. And I don't know how I'm going to accomplish it, but I know that he will. And we have a wonderful fellowship together, and we have a good time. A dream, God-given dream, gives you direction. When I came to La Palma, I worked every job that there was. I have done every job that there is to do here at La Palma. And yes, I have cleaned, I've cooked, I've done everything. But I desired to do something greater. God gave me this dream of a school that would reach the community, that wasn't just a Christian country club. You didn't have to be a Christian to attend this school. This school was an outreach. It was a ministry. And so I shared that dream with Steve and the board at the time, and there was a little bit of hesitation because I would have to work for my husband as my boss, and they weren't real keen on actually letting that happen, but they took a chance. I said, this is what I feel, and I feel that we can accomplish great things. When I stepped into the role as director of the school, we were in the red. The school was really, really hurting. And I thought, oh, dear God, what have you gotten? What has happened? And I remember one day sitting at my desk, and I was just working, and I had some music on, and a song came on called "The Power of One." It was a new release from Israel, and that song started to play, and I remember it just did something. It just touched my heart. I mean, I knew that there was something in this power of one. And God birthed in me a scholarship, a ministry, a fund that I could present to you, the congregation, and we could do scholarships for the children who didn't have enough money to come to school. And the Power of One scholarship was birthed. And to this day, it has enabled so many children to come through La Palma Christian School. If I would not have followed that, if I would have just thought that maybe it was a little crazy. You know, it's very apprehensive in asking somebody to fund something. And there were times where I didn't think it would fall through. But today, La Palma Christian School is healthy. We are reaching our community. We are reaching people who are of the Muslim faith, people who are Buddhists. You name it, we have it. And it is such a wonderful, wonderful in my heart, and I followed that direction. And again, it is in no way is it about me, but it's about all of the kindergarten students, first grade students, all the way through now to high school. And let me tell you this. I didn't share this with first service, but I'm going to share it with you. We go all the way through high school, and the Power of One was my dream, but now I have a new dream. I have a new dream, and it's pretty daunting, and I don't know how we'll do it, but I have a dream that we will have an internship that's just not a summer internship. That we will have an internship where people who are wanting to go into the ministry, no matter what age they are, they can come. They stay here. We have housing for them. They get hands-on training in the ministry, because I know that La Palma Christian Center has so much to offer. And I have seen the fruit of people who have gone through just our summer internship. Joshua Bankhead has been hired in Huntington Beach as a youth pastor, and we are a part. So this is a new dream that I have. We don't have homes for the future internship people. We don't. But God is going to do it, Elliot. I believe it. God is going to do it. I've had so many young adults come to you and I and say, I want to be the next one in the internship. I want to be the next one in the internship. I believe that La Palma Christian Center is going to equip the next generation of ministers, and we are going to see a revival like you've never seen. And it's going to be because of a dream and moving in that direction. God has spoken a word over this house, and he has said new. It's a time of victory. It is new. It will not happen. It will not happen first if Steve and I and the pastoral staff, if we don't allow God to place dreams in us and we don't act on those dreams, we don't move in that direction. But it definitely will not happen if you all don't dream. And if you all don't move in the direction that God is giving you in those dreams, because we can't do it by ourselves. It is a family affair. And we're all going to dream, and we're all going to do great things. The second thing that a God-given dream will do is it will unlock your potential. God gives dreams, and he will empower you. Ephesians 3:20 in the Living Bible says this: Now glory be to God, who by his mighty power at work within us is able to do far more than we would ever dare to ask or even dream of. infinitely beyond our highest prayers, desires, thoughts, or hopes. That's craziness. That's craziness. He'll do far beyond. I know that Josh, we've talked about this, it just wasn't on your radar that this would happen so quickly. It was a dream, it was a desire. You were moving in that direction. You haven't completed school of ministry yet, you're just in the beginnings, but here God has answered, and now your direction, now that potential is going to be unlocked in your life, and there is a group of teenagers whose lives will be forever changed because of Joshua Bankhead. I remember not too long ago, Bankhead, that you were you. Right? How many times did I have to say, get over here, bend over, and I'm going to kick it? Right? But God has brought you a mighty long way. There's more to go, but that potential, that dream, God has given to you. Now listen, big dreams, they're great, but they can be offensive. Big dreams are offensive. So expect opposition. Look at Genesis 37, starting with 17. I'm not going to read it all. I want to go to verse 18. The brothers see Joseph coming toward him, spotted him in the distance, and by the time he got to them, they had cooked up a plot to kill him. And the brothers were saying, "Here comes that dreamer. Let's kill him and throw him into one of these old cisterns," which is a well. We can say that a vicious animal ate him, and we'll see what his dreams amount to. There is this concern when God has spoken something to you and he has birthed in you a dream. You are concerned about what other people will say or what other people will think. The song, A Million Dreams, one of the lines says, they can say, it all sounds crazy. They can say, I've lost my mind. Let me tell you, they will say you are crazy. They will say you have lost your mind. Big dreams guarantee big opposition. Listen, Steve and I came on staff 18 years ago, and we came on staff as associate pastors, music pastors. And a few years into our time here, God began to stir in us a desire to be lead pastors, to lead a congregation, to move forward. And it was a dream. It was a desire. But there were many nights we talked about it. The congregation that we feel led to lead is La Palma. And there was no way that was going to happen. We couldn't see it. But we felt this urging, we had this dream, we had this desire, we had this new direction that we felt God was working. Well, guess what? God had a plan, and we became the lead pastors of La Palma Christian Center, and for over 13 years now, we have been in this lead position. But there has been opposition. There has been severe opposition. Many of you know the story, some of you don't. Let me just tell you, it was dark. You would think a dream to just lead a group of people, a dream to step in and to help, to bring healing. You would think that would be celebrated. It was not. There was opposition. Mr. Rogers says this, pretty profound, concerning people, concerning children. He said, in life, you will either be an advocate or you will be an accuser. Listen, there are many accusers, many accusers. I want to ask you, though, this morning, I had to ask myself, because it's easy to look at that and say, kind of get on the little train of, oh, they're accusing me, they're accusing me, they're accusing me. How many times has somebody come to you with a dream? How many times has somebody come to you and said, I feel like this might be in my future. I feel like God might be leading me in this way. And you accused. Maybe not overtly. Maybe it's in a look or just a snide comment. Or you didn't do it to their face, but you walked away and told somebody else. Can you believe what they think they're going to do. People accuse. We should be advocates because big dreams have big opposition. Now look, Joseph, he was thrown into the pit. Then he was pulled out to the pit. He was sold into slavery. He was sold into slavery. Then he was accused of raping a woman. Then he was thrown back into prison. 17, all this happening. He had this dream. He had these two dreams. All this time, all this opposition, all this turmoil. Can you imagine? I think I would have given up when I was in the well. You wouldn't have to sell me into slavery. You wouldn't have to do all of that. I would have given up a long time ago, but he didn't. He held fast to his dream. He was 37 years old approximately when the dream was finally fulfilled. But that time of opposition, that was part of his journey. That was part of his dream. God he knew ahead of time when he placed that dream in our hearts to lead this house. When he birthed that in us, he knew. He knew what was going to happen. He knew the dark days that we would face. He knew the dysfunction that was around the corner for us. But he still called us. He still empowered us. And listen, I wouldn't trade any of it. I would not trade any of it. And another important fact when you face opposition is you need to forgive those who accuse you and those who oppose you. Forgiveness is just one step. You have three choices to make. You can either stay in the pit with your muddied up, colorful jacket, stay in that pit for a while, and just stay there. Abort your dream, stay in the pit. Or you can get out of the pit and you can forgive, okay? We think rationally that's enough. Forgiveness is enough. It's not enough. Forgiveness is great, and forgiveness will get you into heaven. We are to forgive, but it's not enough. I have forgiven. We have forgiven. But we have gone the next step, and this step will determine how great it is. And that's reconciliation. You can forgive, but can you go to that person who did horrible things and shake their hands, hug their necks, kiss their cheeks genuinely, and tell them, I love you. I want you to be a part of my life. Reconciliation is the third step, and that's where we have to get to. Joseph, he got out of the pit. He forgave, and then we see later in his life that he made reconciliation with his brothers and with his father. Finally, a dream will draw you closer to God. Remember, a God-given dream is not about you. In the end, Joseph became the second most influential leader in Egypt. His family did come and bow down before him, but his dream fulfillment wasn't about him being in leadership. His dream fulfillment was about him providing for them, loving them, securing for them a great future. Genesis 47:11 through 12 says, Joseph settled his father and brothers in Egypt and made them proud owners of choice land. This was during a famine. Made them owners of a choice land. It was the region of Ramses, that is Goshen, just as Pharaoh had ordered. And Joseph took good care of them, his father and brothers and all his father's family, right down to the smallest baby. He made sure that they had plenty of everything. The bundles of wheat bowing down, the stars and the moon. It wasn't about him being a great leader. It was about him being a leader that could provide, that could take care of, that reconciled, that not only forgave, but reconciled, took care of. Look, Joseph's dad, he even bowed. Genesis 49, beginning with 29. When the time came for Israel, that's Jacob, to die, he called his son Joseph and said, do me this favor. Put your hand under my thigh, a sign that you're loyal and true to me to the end. Don't bury me in Egypt. When I lie down with my fathers, carry me out of Egypt and bury me alongside them. I will, he said. I'll do what you've asked. Israel said, "Promise me." And Joseph promised. And Israel bowed his head in submission and gratitude from his bed. Joseph provided for his father, and in the very end, Jacob did bow in submission to his son. God-given dreams are about God, the dream giver. Finally, in conclusion, how do we successfully dream big? We dream small.
It's a mama singing songs about the Lord. It's a daddy spending family time the world says he cannot afford. These simple moments change the world. It's a pastor at a tiny little church. 40 years of loving on the broken and the hurt. These simple moments change the world. Dream small, don't buy the lie, you've got to do it all. Just let Jesus use you where you are. One day at a time, live well, loving God and others as yourself. Find little ways where only you can help. With his great love, a tiny rock can make a giant fall. Dream small. It's visiting the widow down the street, or dancing on a Friday with your friend with special needs. These simple moments change the world. Of course there's nothing wrong with bigger dreams. Just don't miss the minutes on your way to bigger things, no. 'Cause these simple moments change the world. So dream small, don't buy the lie, you've got to do it all. Just let Jesus use you where you are. One day at a time, live well, loving God and others as yourself. Find little ways where only you can help. With his great love, a tiny rock can make a giant fall. So dream small. Keep loving, keep serving, keep listening, keep learning, keep praying, keep hoping, keep seeking, keep searching. Add up the small things and watch them grow bigger. The God who does all things makes oceans from rivers. So dream small, don't buy the lie, you've got to do it all. Just let Jesus use you where you are. One day at a time, live well, loving God and others as yourself. Find little ways where only you can help. With his great love, a tiny rock can make a giant fall. Yeah, 5 loaves and 2 fish can feed them all. So dream small, dream small.
You know, even during those times of difficulty and hardship that Joseph faced, even when he was in the pit and when he was in prison, one thing that he didn't do is he didn't quit serving. He didn't quit serving God, and he didn't quit serving others. From the prison, he was being used by God to interpret dreams. He made himself available to God, even during those times. Though that is dreaming small. Let me tell you, that's a great video, and we're all touched and we're all moved by it. But today, our children's ministry is lacking. We are not meeting the needs of these children because we don't have people who will serve. We have a media team who is wearing themselves out because we don't. But I want to let you know that if you want to move into a situation of new, if you want to accomplish these big dreams, you need to start by dreaming small. And don't think that the person next to you is going to be the one who does it. You may think, I'm not called to children's ministry. Well, I don't have a degree in education, but I am a school director because I had a dream, and God has given me He's empowered me, and He has given me the intellect and the knowledge that I need to run a school. I feel an urgency that many times we sit back and we're comfortable, and we think the other person will do it. And we have this big dream, this big goal, but we're not willing to dream small. We're not willing to just accomplish the small things. Yes, there's so much to be done for the work of God. And if you want La Palma to move into this new direction, I challenge you, I implore you, dream small, but do it. Do it today. If God tells you, even if it's out of your realm of comfortability, sign up. Do it. Don't wait on the next person, because God has victory for us in this new season, but it'll only happen if we work together as a family and as we move together. So today, I want you to dream big, but in the meantime, I want you to dream small, to keep loving, to keep serving, to keep listening, to keep learning, to keep praying, to keep hoping, to keep seeking, and to keep searching. And if you do that, I know that Steve and I, for sure, we pledge to you that we will dream big and that we will move in the direction that God has for La Palma Christian Center.
Why don't I have you stand here, everyone? There's a good word for us today. Amen. Amen. Take somebody's hand, if you would. Where'd my wife go? I was going to take your hand. Happy anniversary. Here we are, still dreaming. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Yes. And you know, I sense another shifting in the air. A wonderful, wonderful shifting by the Holy Spirit. A lot of us have dreams for this place. You know, we have our individual dreams, but, you know, God has put us together. Over 25 different ethnicities that call this place home. That doesn't happen everywhere. Usually you go to a white church, or you go to a black church, or you go to a Nigerian church, or you go to a Filipino church. Come on, somebody. Yeah. But here we are, this great canvas that God has put together. And only God could do this, but He has. So dream your dreams, but then let's dream together for some really crazy things to happen on this little corner of earth, this little spot, 80. I believe God is going to do some great things. How many sense that with us? Don't you know? Don't you sense this? How many could just see every seat filled, both in the downstairs area and even up in the balcony? In fact, how many could see with spirit eyes that didn't happen just one time? But this place is so full because of the lost and because of the needs that are here. So, Father, here we are taking hands and holding hearts, dreaming big dreams, yes, but dreaming the small dreams as well. Knit us together, Lord, and help us to dream together and breathe on these dreams, God, so that they actually come to life and we do some great things for you while we're right here on earth. Use us, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.